Good day and welcome back to another DB Legends video. In this video we're going to be taking a look at, basically, to cut a long story short, my build for the free-to-play General Tao. Now, here's the thing. Honestly speaking, I'm going to be entirely honest here, when we look at, for example, units, there is always, that caveat of like, is this unit usable in PvP? General Tao is a April Fool's unit. They are almost entirely all the time on their own mission. So like 99% of the time, they literally exist to function as like a unit for a ton of fun. They are not units that exist like to be prolonged, but they have really fun, interesting gimmicks. Pui Pui was kind of like that. I think a lot of people remember him. And he was weirdly usable for a long time because of leader skills and health buffs and everything like that. He was a ton of fun to have for a lot of characters, and I think a lot of players really enjoyed using him. So that was something super awesome. Pui Pui was great. General Tao is kind of like the same thing. So General Tao is really cool. He's not necessarily, I think, maybe as good as Pui Pui, but he is really, really solid. Like, he is really, really cool. He's a ton of fun, which I always find to be really awesome. And he's got some cool, interesting stuff. So his big thing is his main ability. So what his main ability does is it nullifies disadvantages. So it nullifies disadvantages in terms of like element typing, protects his hand, and makes you draw your ultimate ability. So what it does is it allows him to start what I like to call the cycle of pain, which is General Tao, basically, to cut a long story short, being able to spam his main ability over and over and over again. So how it works is General Tao will basically, to cut a long story short, use his ultimate ability off of his main ability, and then his ultimate ability refreshes his vanish and gives him another ultimate ability. So it's like a double-edged situation. It's like basically, you essentially have this spammy ultimate move, which because of your main ability now is doing element neutral damage. Then you are able to spam this ultimate move, and because this ultimate move replenishes your vanish gauge, you can essentially, if you time it right and get it done right, evade the enemy, make sure you combo into them, set them up for combo, and then hit them with the ultimate move, which is pretty crazy. There are some other caveats to him. Like, for example, he needs at least a whole bunch of DB Saga units or weapon wielder units and things like that to really be, I want to say, super duper solid. So he does need like DB and weapon wielders to kind of run, I would say, with that extra damage buff, which he definitely needs. So that's, something that he does need to factor in when you're looking at how he functions. Then on top of that as well, outside of like his gimmicky ability, I'm going to say he's not necessarily, good at other stuff. Like, his vanishing step is pretty cool because it allows him to potentially draw, an ultimate arts card, which is great. He also, of course, does reduce the enemy's blast power and things. And he can boost your allies' damage when he's defeated. So they did give him some utility. Now, for me, he's a ton of fun. He's a really, really quirky, interesting little character that I think if you watch DB Saga, obviously you're going to be like, you know who General Tao is. Like, I think without a doubt, anyone who watched DB Saga knows who General Tao is. But what I really like is how they've made him this crazy assassin in the game as well, which I think is a ton of fun. All in all, I think General Tao is a really fun April Fool's unit, as always. They seem to really get these April Fool's units right. General Tao is not going to last a long time. He's going to be useful for the DB Saga team and Weapon Wielder teams right now. He's not a top tier pick on either of those teams either, because he's still very glass cannony. But he is really, really cool when you can get his gimmick to work. And it's fun to take players, I guess, a little bit by surprise. A lot of players may not be expecting, like General Tao to be this like super duper, strong, or even a character that's going to deal damage to you. So I think for me, it's really fun to kind of see him operate. And it's, been really fun to, I think, surprise a couple people. Now, if you don't have a top Weapon Wielder team, or you don't have a DB Saga team, then unfortunately things can be a little bit, I want to say, difficult for you, because you don't have necessarily the right environment for him to function at 100%. So I do think that is a little bit of a shame. Like, I think that's, with understanding that that's probably why they made him so fun and interesting, is the fact that he, was not expected to have a role on a ton of teams. With that being said, much like Pui Pui, he could potentially be used as a leader for other teams if you really want to roll into the gimmick, but it's not something I would personally do too often. Like, don't get me wrong, I think he's really fun, but I don't think it's something you want to grow in. Like, I don't think he's worth getting really deep and down for. Now, I think he's really fun. I do. I think he's a ton of fun. But you shouldn't be prioritizing using General Tao as a unit in any way over other units or things like that. It's a lot of fun to use him, and it's a lot of fun to run these kind of teams together. But I think for me, the real excitement is just, having that really kind of interesting, unique, gimmicky almost ability that he has, which for me is something that's so fun to use. Because, just in general in, DB Legends, I think it's hard to sometimes get these, really fun kind of like interesting characters. That's at least my, I guess, opinion. All in all, he's fun. I enjoy using him a lot. And I think for me, honestly, give him a go. Even if it's just temporarily, even if it's just for the sake of it, just give it a go. Don't worry too much about it. Just give him a try. Enjoy using him, and you might find that you have quite a bit of fun. I think that'll be something really worth your time. But that is pretty much it for me. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please leave a like. It's always greatly appreciated. Let me know if you tried General Tao. I think it's really fun to hear if you have. And let me know if you've managed to get a win with him. But that is basically it from me. So I'll see you guys in the next one. And as always, I will check you in the next video. Bye.